Well, I'm here with Donna Williams on her farm, and she just recently had four wells.
Yes, 4 wells.
Four
On
wells
one pad.
on one pad. Yep. So one well pad put in, four wells on it. They were drilled. And that's it so far, right?
By Cabot.
Okay, by Cabot, right? And now you're waiting for the completion stage of the wells.
Right.
Hydrofracking stage. Yep. Um, what made you want to get involved with the gas companies? They approached you, I'm sure, right?
Right. We were approached by a landman. I'm going to say it was in '05. And, it was something new to be thinking about. I know I went to some informational meetings to try to learn more about it. And, didn't sign immediately, and talked with my 2 sons because they run and operate the farm here. And, just came to a point that we felt that this was the thing to do, just to sign a lease with Cabot.
Right. How they feel about gas development when it was first.
Well, they're excited about it because, we've been farming it here since 1961, and they looked at it that it was really a nice economic thing to look at, and that we're the ones that worked and paid the taxes and the mortgage and the whole bit to have a farm and to have land available, and that somewhere down the road it would be very beneficial financially.
Right. So how long have you been farming here?
We've since 1961. Prior to farming here, my husband and I had a smaller farm over near Elk Mountain, which is Susquehanna County.
Right. And you said you went to some meetings to try to get educated about.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Went as far as out to Bradford County to some meetings, and just wanted to know more about it, and from the information, it was like, this is something that we should do.
Right, so you like what you had to hear at these meetings pretty much.
Right.
Yeah. And now I understand that you're, so since you've had development on your land, you're in the point now where you're trying to kind of get a group together yourself in the Brooklyn Township.
Right.
To kind of educate other people.
Well, I'm very involved in the Farm Bureau organization here in Susquehanna County and statewide, and it was through some of the people that I've had, made contact with, and knew that there was a group formed over in Dimmock, which is called Dimmock Proud,
right.
And then in Franklin Township. And as I talked to these people, it was like, well, the gas industry's here in Brooklyn Township, and I'm sure there's going to be more activity, and it's they'll be around for a long time. And why not get a citizens group together? Because all the people that I had talked to felt that it was very beneficial, were very positive about bringing the landowners or citizens of a township together, and that the gas company, the pipeline companies, they welcomed this opportunity to come out and talk with the people. As you travel around and you talk to so many people, most of the time I kind of take it with a grain of salt, because you don't know how many times that information's been passed along. You don't know how many times it's not really
right.
the full facts. And so this way, if I could be a part of bringing a group together in Brooklyn Township, it would be to the benefit of everybody.
Right. And we had you had your first meeting. It was kind of an informational meeting, maybe 2.5 weeks ago.
Right. On September 5th, I had contacted our township supervisors here in Brooklyn Township to see if their building would be available, and it was, and they're very supportive of an initiative like this. So, yes, the first meeting was on September 5th. I probably made 8 to 10 calls to people that I knew had signed gas leases, and was very pleased that we had about 20 people that showed up at that initial.
Yep.
Yeah, very pleased.
And so right now you only have development in terms of the wells on your land, but are there any pipelines that run through?
Not yet,
Okay.
but we've signed a lot of papers, and they are headed here.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I would, and any of the conversation with the young men that have come for us to sign papers, looking at hopefully by December there would be a pipeline here.
Right. So you know what you've signed. You kind of know what to expect at this point, right?
Exactly.
What you've heard, and even from the experts, the Williams, and it's going to be Williams, I'm sure, right?
Yes.
Commissioner coming in?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Williams pipeline.
Right. Okay. And what do you guys farm here? You said you had 500 acres.
We have, well, it's a dairy farm.
Dairy farm.
Dairy
Okay.
farm. And yes, between myself and my two sons, because they have bought some additional land, we have about 600 acres here.
Wow.
Totally.
Okay.
And plus we rent or use other land too,
Right.
to make sure we have enough crops, enough food around for the cattle for the winter time,
Yep.
from season to season.
Okay. And I came when I drove up right kind of outside your front door. You can see where the well pad was. How was that during development with the gas companies, the trucks and stuff like that?
Yes, there's more traffic on the road, but I have to say there is not hardly any noise when they're drilling. Yes, you could hear some motors running. Yes, you could hear them talking on their walkie-talkies, and yes, now and then you'd hear some clanging when they probably were doing something with some pipes, but minimal noise.
Right.
And yes, there's more trucks, but that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And we like to say too, that obviously there's gonna be more truck traffic, but that passes in time. You know what I mean? Always,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just development stage. So.
And they are done drilling, and now my understanding, when they get bonding for the road, and this is a state route here by the farm, then just this past week they were here doing road work on the road from down at the corners here where Southwestern Road starts from Brooklyn on up, and they did this work up to where the pad is and where they have a driveway permit to pull down into the pad.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And since they've drilled the 4 wells, have you had any water issues, things like that? Anything that you wouldn't out of the ordinary that you haven't seen for years or anything?
No. And I've told people, when they were doing the excavating work there in preparation for the pad, and they were immediately seeding down all of that fresh dirt. And if there was a hard rain and it started to wash a little gully down where there would be quite a drop in the elevation of the dirt pile, they were right back there fixing that.
Right.
So
it's been a good experience
Oh,
so far,
exactly.
I'd say. Yeah. Right.
And I know that periodically somebody that was a part of the drilling crew would stop and talk to my sons. I never personally talked to them because I don't live here at the farm. I live down in Lennox Township. But I know one time my son Mark was free and he went up and they took him in and showed him everything that was going on with all the gauges and all the drilling and explained it to him, and
Very
just
cool.
always said, if we had a question or there was something we wanted to know, come and see them.
Right.
So they've been very congenial, very cooperative.
Good. All right. So if you could kind of tell anyone that's thinking about getting development on their land, what would you recommend that they do to get more information and get educated on it?
Well, I again, not recently, but there has been a number of different meetings, not just in Susquehanna County, but surrounding counties. And, you can go to those meetings. You can call whoever the driller is on your land. Give them a call. Ask questions. Penn State puts out a lot of information. So it's out there.
Right,
but,
there are options.
Right.
Yeah.
But to me, to form one of these groups in your township, and then, and just like at the initial meeting, you were searching out what were the concerns, and there was a Q&A time even at this initial meeting. And I had people tell me, I learned more at this meeting than I have it from other meetings I've gone to.
Right.
And they felt that it was very well spent
Good.
at that initial meeting. So, in the conversation at that meeting, you know, people wanted to know more about pipelines. They wanted to be able to read their check when the royalties
checks.
set. And you folks have offered to bring in the proper people, the people with that knowledge, that then they can pass that on to the people that's at this informational meeting.
Exactly.